In the fading glow of a world on the brink of collapse, one name continued to burn with a brilliance that defied empires: Cleopatra. She was more than a queen. She was a symbol carved into the stone of history, a figure wrapped in beauty, intellect, and ruthless strategy. Yet behind the golden throne and the shimmering silk, there lingered a secret, a final treasure, spoken of in whispers and sought for centuries. Some said it held the wealth of an entire civilization. Others believed it concealed truths powerful enough to rewrite history itself. As Egypt took its final breath beneath the shadow of Rome, Cleopatra's legacy was sealed not in monuments, but in mystery. And the world has been searching for her lost secret ever since. Across deserts swept by merciless winds and beneath ruins swallowed by time, explorers, scholars, and dreamers have chased the trail of Cleopatra's vanished treasure. Legends claim she hid it in her final hours, scattering clues among temples, underground chambers, and cryptic rituals reserved for the rulers of old. Others believe it was stolen, smuggled, or buried so deeply that no empire could ever claim it. Yet the question remains: why would the last pharaoh of Egypt hide something so fiercely? What truth was she protecting? As torches flicker against stone walls and divers descend into forgotten tunnels, the story pulls us closer, daring us to follow the path of a queen who refused to be erased. And now we venture into the shadows she left behind. Cleopatra emerged in a world shaped by turmoil, stepping into power not as a symbol of beauty, but as a strategist prepared to rescue a kingdom on the edge. Born into a dynasty torn by betrayal and political disputes, her rise demanded far more than inheritance. It required boldness. With Egypt weakened and Rome expanding its influence, she understood that only a ruler with sharp intellect and flawless timing could keep the nation from collapsing. From her earliest years, Cleopatra mastered the arts of persuasion, diplomacy, and language, becoming the only Ptolemaic monarch known to speak Egyptian. Her command of politics was as striking as her presence, allowing her to read rivals and allies with precision. She navigated councils, crises, and conspiracies with a clarity that separated her from the rulers who came before her, turning potential defeat into opportunity. Every alliance she formed carried intention, strengthening Egypt's independence and defending it from those who sought to turn the nation into a Roman province. Through careful decision-making and a fearless approach to power, Cleopatra shaped not only her own destiny but the future of Egypt. Her ascent was not a product of fortune, but the path of a ruler determined to leave a legacy strong enough to outlive empires. Cleopatra's royal treasure was far more than gold and jewels. It embodied centuries of dynastic power, sacred lineage, and political authority. When Alexandria collapsed under Rome's final advance, ancient writers describe a palace swallowed by panic, and in that moment the treasure vanished from all reliable records, as if it had been deliberately erased. Historians speak of vaults filled with coins, ritual statues, papyrus archives, and ceremonial artifacts tied to the divine legitimacy of the pharaohs. Yet none were recovered after the conquest. Some theories argue that Cleopatra's most loyal attendants, foreseeing Octavian's victory, secretly moved the treasure into hidden chambers beneath the palace, sealing the entrances before fleeing. Others claim that portions of it were transported along priestly desert routes to remote temples, places untouched by war and known only to a sacred elite. There are also accounts suggesting that Rome seized only a small fragment, with the true heart of the treasure concealed before they arrived. As modern excavations uncover drowned port structures and collapsed tunnels, a single question grows louder. Was Cleopatra's treasure lost to destruction, or deliberately safeguarded, still waiting in the shadows of history? Deep beneath the windswept coast of Alexandria, modern explorers navigate the shadowed ruins of Taposiris Magna, a temple long rumored to guard Cleopatra's final secret. Flooded corridors and narrow stone shafts stretch into the earth like forgotten arteries, each step echoing with the tension of discovery. Here, ancient engineering meets the hum of modern equipment, blending the precision of today's archaeology with the haunting silence of a world untouched for millennia. At the center of this mission stands Dr. Kathleen Martinez, driven by a conviction refined over years, that Cleopatra chose this sanctuary linked to Isis as her final refuge. Her research forms a trail of clues pointing to a hidden narrative buried beneath centuries of sand and myth. As excavations deepen, new chambers emerge, revealing carved symbols, offerings, and traces of rituals dedicated to the goddess the queen claimed as her divine protector. These findings strengthen the theory that Cleopatra's burial site may lie somewhere within this labyrinth. Yet progress remains perilous. Collapsed passages, unstable structures, and flooded tunnels turn each new discovery into a calculated risk. Still, the team pushes forward, uncovering sealed corridors, untouched tombs, and artifacts that seem to pulse with stories of Egypt's last dynasty. With every fragment lifted from the darkness, the same question grows more urgent. Could the final resting place of Cleopatra, and the truth behind her legendary treasure, be closer than ever? In the struggle for power that shaped the ancient Mediterranean, Rome learned that controlling a narrative could be as decisive as winning a battle, and Cleopatra became the prime target of that strategy. Roman leaders reframed her image, reducing a skilled diplomat, polyglot negotiator and calculated ruler into a one-dimensional symbol of seduction used to justify their conquest of Egypt. Their writers spread a version of her story that portrayed her not as a monarch defending her nation, but as a dangerous influence who threatened Rome's stability through charm rather than intellect. That portrayal persisted through centuries, echoed in chronicles, theater and later cinema, reinforcing a myth that overshadowed her political mastery. Today, archaeologists must sift through layers of propaganda as carefully as they sift through stone, knowing that many assumptions about her life and her lost treasure come from Roman inventions rather than historical fact. The search for her hidden legacy therefore becomes a battle against manipulated memory, an effort to reclaim the real queen concealed beneath a narrative crafted to erase her power. For centuries, the missing treasure of Cleopatra has continued to expand in meaning, transforming from a collection of royal riches into a timeless symbol of power, resistance, and unanswered questions. Its disappearance allowed legends to grow, shaping how the world remembers Egypt's final queen, not only as a ruler, but as a figure whose influence refused to die. Many historians believe the treasure was deliberately hidden to protect it from Roman hands, turning its loss into an act of quiet rebellion. And as decades became millennia, its absence began to carry new weight. Pride for Egypt, fascination for scholars, and endless curiosity for those drawn to ancient mysteries. The treasure endures not through its discovery, but through the stories it inspires, reminding us that some legacies become greater precisely because they remain just beyond our reach. In the fading glow of ancient sands, Cleopatra's story lingers like a whisper carried by the desert wind, a reminder that some legacies refuse to be buried. Her power shaped empires, her brilliance defied expectations, and her mysteries still ignite the world's imagination. And perhaps that is her greatest treasure. Not gold nor jewels, but the undeniable mark she left on history itself, echoing across centuries with a force that refuses to fade. As modern explorers chase the final pieces of her legend, we're drawn deeper into a realm where archaeology meets destiny. Every sealed chamber, every forgotten artifact, every silent corridor beneath the earth feels like one step closer to unraveling a truth she guarded fiercely. And whether the treasure is ever found or not, the pursuit itself reminds us why her name still commands awe, because Cleopatra was never just a queen. She was a symbol of brilliance, resilience, and the eternal mystery of Egypt. If this journey through her secrets captivated you, imagine what awaits in the next chapter of our series. There are still pharaohs to uncover, curses to confront, and mysteries older than civilization itself waiting in the shadows. So don't miss what comes next. Subscribe, activate the notifications, and continue with us as we explore the legends that shaped the ancient world.